So I did this video for Android devices like a couple, maybe like a month ago, and I said I was going to do it for iPhones. And I've done this video a couple of times for iPhones actually, but things do change. And ever since iOS 12, my default keyboard has been the stock iOS keyboard. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of pros with this, there's a lot of cons. The one thing I really like about this specific keyboard is that I'm already used to it. I don't have to go shift away from this keyboard to another keyboard. As you guys may know, whenever I type in or you type in a password and you're using a third-party keyboard, it automatically goes away from that specific keyboard and goes into this one, the stock one. So recently, since iOS 12, I've been using this specific keyboard, and since they added the swipe typing gestures, it's really, made me feel so much better about using it. However, it's still probably not the best one. There's a lot of other keyboards that have a lot of more capability, but I think the stock keyboard is really, really good. Now, first of all, you don't get the number row on top, which you still don't get on a lot of other keyboards, but you do have, the emojis that are still here. You have access to the Memojis here too. So if that's something you really like, then you don't really have another option besides using the stock keyboard. On top of that, if you're somebody who uses these top row of apps ever, then you will probably have to keep your stock keyboard in it to do it. Now, one of my least favorite things about this keyboard would definitely be the autocorrect. Whenever I type in a word, whenever I type in like hello or and I'm typing really fast or something like that, now that's a really bad example. All right, my bad, I had to move locations, but that is mostly an example of, one of the worst things about this keyboard. Now, I really do like it. I like the night mode as well. I love how it's so adaptive. But that is honestly one of my least favorite things about this keyboard would definitely be the autocorrect. Now, other than that, this keyboard's been pretty good. It's very lightweight. I don't have a problem with it. However, there is another set of keyboards that are actually really good, and the other two are also the ones I would kind of recommend to a lot of people. Now, that is Gboard and SwiftKey. Now, starting off with Gboard, this is the one keyboard that I was using for an extremely long amount of time, and I don't know what it is. Maybe, Google's autocorrect is way better or whatever the case is, but whenever I did anything with this keyboard, it was very, very nice. You still have the long press, kind of if you long press on the keyboard, you can go swipe from one thing to the other, which is really cool. So that is still here. And for some reason it's not working, but if you hop out and if you go into the Gboard app, which is right here, you're actually presented into a ton of more options. Now, in this specific case, as you can see, you have a ton of different things, but the most important thing, in my opinion, would definitely be the themes. So if you go to themes right here, you have a ton of different options. So if you want the dark keyboard, but you don't want to be on the dark theme all the time on your phone, then you can just type in the dark keyboard, and as you can see, it'll go dark, even though everything else is light mode. If you go into settings, this thing is still in light mode, but you can have that dark keyboard, which is really cool. And I think this keyboard looks really nice. And you also have the capability of going away from this and even changing it to a custom background if you really want to. So that's another really cool thing. That's why I really like Gboard, is because there's a lot more capability. But like I said, there are some times where it just automatically switches away from Gboard and goes back into the stock keyboard, and it was just kind of confusing. I didn't really like that too much, and then I ended up just kind of keeping the stock one on full time. But this one is a really good one too. Now, probably my least favorite one out of all of them would probably be SwiftKey, and that is one that Microsoft actually bought. It wasn't originally Microsoft, but apparently they bought it. And this keyboard is kind of good too. Now, it shares a lot of the similarities as the other keyboards. As you can see, full QWERTY, full everything, autocorrect is there and everything. And there are some themes and everything you can also mess with this with. Now, if you tap on the emojis, as you'll see, you have access to these emojis, but they look a little bit different. Maybe they're the same. You can also search for emojis here too. There's just something about it I don't like. You also have the swipe keyboard here too, which is cool, as you can see. And apparently this one has better accuracy in terms of the words you're trying to predict, but I still think Gboard is probably the better one out of all three of these. Now, kind of hopping out of here and going into the app itself, because I'm sure you guys have all seen it. One really cool thing about this specific app is that you do have some capabilities of doing the languages if you want to download more languages, which you have on the regular keyboard, but you still have the themes and the settings. So before we get into themes, these are some of the settings that you have. You can also have a number row, which is one of my favorite things about this keyboard. So as you can see, the number row is there. Now on Gboard, I'm not really too sure. I don't remember seeing anything. So as you can see, I don't see anything with a number row, but you do have that capability with SwiftKey, which is probably one of its biggest assets. I'm not too sure why the stock keyboard doesn't have it, and I'm not even too sure why Gboard doesn't have it, but SwiftKey does have it, which is a huge asset for this one for sure. Then you have a couple of other settings here too. You can also turn on haptic feedback for your iPhone keyboard if you want to. Now going into the theme section, as you can see, you do have a couple of different themes here, and I think you do have more than what you do have on the stock Gboard app and definitely the stock app. So you can go and download whatever you want to. Let's say I want this one. This one is selected, so now I can go here. As you can see, this keyboard turned into this color. and the swipe keyboard still works and everything, which is cool. So if you want more capability, if you really need a number row on your front screen, then this is the one to go to. But if not, then the other ones will do fine. And I personally do think if I had to choose one, the Gboard one is probably the best one in my opinion, but this one is also a close third. So that's really pretty much it. These are some of my favorite keyboards. These will all be linked down in the description below. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section as well. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.